We start off this week's Friday Night Smackdown from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for June 27, 2025. The opening segment has the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes making his way to the ring to a huge ovation. The crowd loudly sings his theme song, and the atmosphere is electric. This past Monday on Raw, we get a recap of Cody defeating Jay to advance to the finals of the King of the Ring tournament, which will happen at Night of Champions, this pay-per-view this weekend. Before Cody can utter a word, here comes the Viper, Randy Orton. The crowd loudly gives him a welcoming ovation too. Last Friday on SmackDown, Orton defeated Sami Zayn to advance to the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. Orton gets in the ring and looks at the crown, which is on a podium in the center of the ring. Cody cautiously stands across from him. The crowd is absolutely incredible singing his song. Orton has a question for the crowd before he addresses Cody. He asks the crowd if they watched Monday Night Raw and saw Rhodes beat Jey Uso. Orton says it was a hell of a match. It should be in the running for Match of the Year and the Slammies. After the segment, Michael Cole and Wade Barrett welcome us back. Cole and Barrett look exasperated. Cole apologizes for the issues and then apologizes that Barrett is the first face that we have to see after a half an hour of being cut off. Next, we have a match. Jimmy Uso versus JC Mateo with Solo Sikoa by his side supporting him. The bell rings and Mateo quickly powers Uso in the corner before delivering some shoulder thrusts. The referee backs Mateo up. Mateo goes back to Uso and starts to punch him in the corner. Charles Robinson backs Mateo up again. Uso uppercuts and chops Mateo before bouncing him in the corner. Mateo reverses a whip and clotheslines him down. Mateo sends him into the ropes, but Uso knocks him back and sends him out of the ring. Mateo gets on the apron, but Uso knocks him down with a enziguri. Uso sets up for a dive, but Solo interferes and stands in his way. Uso boots Mateo back and goes for a crossbody block. Mateo catches him and slams him down. Mateo drops a forearm before connecting with a standing moonsault for a 1-2 kick out. Mateo applies a grounded bear hug. Uso fights up and elbows out before going to the top rope for a corkscrew senton. Uso gets to his feet and lays in some punches and some kicks. Uso ducks a clothesline and goes for a Samoan drop, but he can't keep Mateo up. Mateo blocks the kick, but Uso answers back with an enziguri. Uso connects with a running hip attack. Mateo holds his jaw and stumbles around before Uso super kicks him out of the ring. Sikoa is ticked off. Uso connects with a suicide dive on Mateo before putting him in the ring. As the referee checks on Mateo, Solo Sikoa pulls Uso's foot when the referee is distracted. Uso goes to the top rope and jumps over Mateo. Mateo catches Uso charging and hits the Tour of the Islands for a 1, 2, 3. And your winner of the match, Mateo. Solo Sikoa gets in the ring and asks Jimmy Uso if he's ready to come back to the family. Sikoa extends his arms for a hug as the crowd chants no. Uso slaps Mateo in the face. Mateo attacks Jimmy from behind and clubs away at him. A furious Sikoa sets up for a Samoan spike, but the United States champion Jacob Fatu runs down for the save. Fatu punches Mateo before hitting him with a pop-up Samoan drop. Fatu looks towards Sikoa, but Sikoa quickly bails out of the ring. Fatu then hits Mateo with a double jump moonsault. Fatu and Uso then lock eyes. Uso punches Fatu out of the way and super kicks Sikoa out of the ring. Fatu and Uso stand tall in the ring. Next, we have Giulia versus Zelina Vega for the Women's United States Championship. The bell rings and they quickly start doing roll-ups. They take each other out with stereo kicks. Giulia pops up first and takes it to Vega. Giulia heads to the top rope, but Vega knocks her to the floor. Vega heads to the second turnbuckle and connects with a moonsault back block to the floor. Vega appears to have injured her knee. Giulia is taking it to Vega and hits a curb stomp for a 1, 2, 2.9 kick out. Vega rolls out of the ring to recover. Giulia goes after her, but Vega hits an arm drag into the steps. Vega then hits Giulia with a running Meteora against the steps. Vega and Giulia return to the ring. Vega hits a pair of clotheslines before attempting a dragon screw, but Giulia elbows her. Vega is able to fight back with another knee to the jaw. Vega hits double knees to the back, followed by a Meteora for a 1, 2 kick out. Vega heads to the top rope, but Giulia cuts her off. Giulia hits a scary double underhook suplex. Vega slides out of a slam and hits a code red 1, 2. Giulia gets to her feet on the bottom rope in a very athletic fashion. Vega heads to the top rope, but Giulia avoids the moonsault. Giulia connects with another running knee. Giulia knees her in the face for a second time before connecting with her Northern Lights bomb for the 1, 2, 3. And your winner by pinfall and new United States champion, Giulia. Giulia celebrates with the United States Championship as the pyrotechnics go off. After the match, Michael Cole announces that next week's SmackDown will return to its 2-hour format. Next, we have a short backstage segment. Charlotte Flair is walking backstage when she sees Alexa Bliss. Flair says she doesn't want to talk about last week. Bliss says it looked like she needed her help. Flair says she doesn't need friends. Bliss doesn't want to be her friend. She just wants to be an ally of convenience. Bliss walks off. So teasing to be a tag team for a little while. Interesting. Next we have a segment in the ring. Wade Barrett is in the ring and he says the two women about to come to the ring will be battling for the Queen of the Ring crown tomorrow at Night of Champions. And the winner will face their brand's women's champion. So either Asuka wins and faces the champion of Raw, or Jade Cargill wins and faces the champion of SmackDown. The Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, makes her entrance. Barrett asks Cargill what makes her so confident that she's going to beat Asuka tomorrow in the Queen of the Ring finals at Night of Champions. Cargill says when people see Asuka, they get nervous. Cargill sees an opportunity to show everyone why she came here. Cargill says she has purpose. This is not pressure, it's purpose. At SummerSlam, she doesn't plan on taking the title. She plans on taking the whole throne. Asuka says Cargill is strong, but power isn't everything. Asuka has skills and experience. Asuka asks Cargill if she knows who she is. She is Asuka. Asuka then yells at her in Japanese before saying, "No one is ready for Asuka." Cargill says she'll regret. And before she could finish her sentence, Miss Money in the Bank Naomi cuts them off. Naomi says this briefcase means they can fight over the crown, but she holds all the power. Naomi says she can do whatever she wants. Maybe she'll cash in on Tiffany and Nia when they destroy each other in the women's last man standing match later tonight. The crowd chants, "Shut the F up." Naomi says Cargill hates that. No matter what she does, Naomi holds the power to take it all away, just like the tag titles and months of Cargill's career. It brings Naomi pure pleasure when she thinks about how sweet it would be to ruin the biggest night of her career. Naomi gets on the apron. Cargill runs over trying to get a cheap shot. So Cargill runs over Asuka when she was running to hit Naomi and scares Naomi away. Asuka gets up and angrily strikes and kicks Cargill to the ground. Naomi gets on the apron and taunts Cargill. Next we have a match. DIY. Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano versus Andrade and Rey Fenix in a tag team match. Andrade starts off against Tommaso Ciampa. They lock hands before Andrade goes for a waistlock. Ciampa elbows out, but Andrade responds with a chop. Rey Fenix tags in and kicks Ciampa. Andrade follows up with a kick. They knock DIY into the ropes next to each other before sandwiching them with kicks. Andrade and Fenix head to the top rope and hit stereo crossbody blocks to the floor. Gargano takes Fenix down before tagging Ciampa in. Fenix drops Gargano over the top rope. Gargano hits the steps with his shins on the way down. Fenix then takes Ciampa down with some fast kicks. Fenix goes for a tag, but a hobbling Gargano pulls Andrade off the apron. Ciampa attacks Fenix for a 1-2 kick out. Ciampa chops Fenix down and taunts Andrade. The referee holds Andrade back as DIY gets some cheap shots in behind the referee's back. Ciampa chops Fenix in the corner and puts him on the top rope. Ciampa hits a second chop and mocks the crowd. Ciampa sets up for an air raid siren, but Fenix fights out. Fenix then runs on the top rope and kicks Ciampa in the face. Andrade and Gargano tag in. Andrade clotheslines Gargano before hitting a dragon screw. Andrade then runs over Ciampa with a diving forearm. Gargano clutches his injured knee in the corner. Andrade goes for a running Meteora, but Gargano moves. Andrade connects a slingshot spear and slams him to the mat. Andrade, connecting offense, connects with a tornado reverse DDT for a 1-2 kick out. The crowd is loving it and chants, "This is awesome." Ciampa tags in, but Andrade fights DIY off. DIY quickly hit him with a shatter machine for a 1-2 kick out. Gargano is still looking lame on the apron with a bad knee. Gargano knocks Andrade back, but Andrade chops him down. Andrade sets up for a superplex, but Gargano blocks it. Gargano goes up for a sunset powerbomb, but Andrade flips through it and lands on his feet. Andrade hits a running Meteora before going to the top rope for his double jump moonsault. But Andrade sticks the landing on Gargano the first time. Ouch. 1-2. Gargano kicks out as Ciampa was late breaking up the pin. Ciampa goes to send Fenix out of the ring, but Fenix rebounds and knocks him off the ring. Fenix then hits a beautiful somersault senton on Ciampa. Gargano and Andrade exchange punches in the center of the ring. Fenix blind tags in, backflips over Gargano, and hits a bridging German suplex for a 1-2 kick out. The crowd is loving this match. Fenix puts Gargano on the top rope and puts him in position for the Muscle Buster. Andrade heads to the top rope for a double team move, but Ciampa knocks Andrade to the floor. Gargano counters the Muscle Buster into a roll-up for a 1-2 kick out. Gargano connects with a Poison Rana on Fenix. Ciampa hits his finisher, Fairy Tale Ending, on Fenix. And Gargano hits a well-placed super kick for good measure. 1-2 kick out. Followed up by Project Ciampa for another kick out. Andrade quickly takes Gargano out by faking a big boot and hitting a rebound back elbow. Ciampa quickly big boots Andrade down and pulls down his knee pads. Fenix avoids the running knees from Ciampa and kicks him in the head. Andrade tags in. Fenix connects with a Blackfire driver, and Andrade quickly follows it up with the message for a 1-2-3. And your winners by pinfall, Andrade and Rey Fenix. After the match, Tommaso Ciampa is holding his neck in the middle of the ring. Next we have R-Truth, Ron Killings in the middle of the ring. R-Truth gets in the ring to a big ovation and he greets the crowd and asks them what's up. He is Ron Killings. He's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. R-Truth calls out John Cena. Aleister Black appears behind him and crushes him with Black Mass. Black says in a weird way, "Now we're even," and he walks off. Next we have, for the WWE Tag Team Championships, the Street Profits, Angelo, Dawkins, and Montez Ford, the champions, versus the Wyatt Six, Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis with Eric Rowan, Nikki Cross, and Uncle Howdy at ringside. We start off with Dexter Lumis crawling towards Montez Ford, who looks a little freaked out. Ford then gets close to his level before punching him. Lumis kneels him in the midsection and clubs him down. Ford reverses a whip, drops down, and leapfrogs him before hitting a dropkick. Joe Gacy tags in and punches Ford back. Lumis connects with a spinebuster on Ford. Gacy hits a senton splash, but Angelo Dawkins pulls him off. Los Garza, the Motor City Machine Guns, and Fraxium come to ringside. DIY also is there. Gacy ducks a clothesline from Ford and hits a handspring clothesline. Ford flips through a suplex from Lumis. Lumis quickly hits a pop-up uppercut. They take each other out with stereo running crossbody blocks. Dawkins and Gacy tag in. Dawkins hits a pair of clotheslines before knocking Dexter Lumis off the apron. Dawkins hits Gacy with a spinning forearm. Gacy quickly responds with a headbutt and tags Lumis in. Los Garza pulls Lumis out of the ring. Dawkins then pounces Lumis into the tag teams. DIY pulls Dawkins out of the ring. A brawl breaks out and the match is drawn out. After the match, Eric Rowan gets in the ring and starts to take out everybody. Braxium and Motor City Machine Guns team up to take Rowan out of the ring. Frazier hits Rowan with a suicide dive, but he catches him. Uncle Howdy gets in the ring and hits Axiom with Sister Abigail. The Street Profits knock Uncle Howdy out of the ring. Dawkins hits some of the tag teams with a somersault senton outside the ring. Floor then flips over the ring posts and takes the rest of them out. The Street Profits stand tall in the ring to end the segment. Next, we have a championship match. The champion Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax in a last woman standing match. We start off before the bell even rings. Nia Jax blindsides Tiffany Stratton. The bell rings as Jax sends Stratton shoulder first into the ring post. Jax rips the top turnbuckle pad off. Stratton quickly gets Jax outside the ring and baseball slides her. They brawl at ringside before Jax headbutts her down. Jax goes to grab the steel steps, but Stratton cuts her off. Stratton goes to the apron and jumps, but Jax drives the steps into her. She is down for a 4 count before Stratton gets up. Jax clubs away at Stratton before clearing the commentary table. Stratton attacks her, but Jax gives her a Samoan drop onto the announce table. The table doesn't break. A count of 5 before Stratton gets up, so Jax climbs her back down. Stratton hits Jax with a crossbody block. Stratton connects with a swanton. 4 count before Jax gets back up to her feet. Stratton kicks her in the face and hits a basement dropkick. There is a table and 2 chairs in the ring. Stratton goes to the second rope, but Jax hits her with the electric chair and drops her face first onto the exposed turnbuckle. It ended up being an 8 count before Stratton pulls herself back up to her feet. Jax avalanches her and sends her out of the ring. Jax follows her out of the ring and drives her into the ring steps. A 7 count, but Stratton crawls towards the barricade and pulls herself back up. Jax drives her into the barricade and puts her on a table set up at ringside. Jax goes to the apron and salutes the crowd before splashing Stratton through the table. An 8 count. Stratton starts to roll. 9. Stratton barely pulls herself up on the barricade. Jax is stunned. Jax goes under the ring and pulls 2 more tables out from underneath the ring. Meanwhile, the referee is counting Stratton up and another 8 count before she gets up. Jax is crushing Stratton with a steel chair. Jax pulls her to the corner and hits her with an annihilator. Jax isn't done there. She grabs a chair and puts it on Stratton's chest before hitting an annihilator a second time. A 9 count before Stratton uses the rope to pull herself up. Jax cracks her in the ribs with a kendo stick before setting a table up near the corner. Jax pulls Stratton on her shoulders and starts to climb the ropes. Stratton slides off and powerbombs Jax off the second rope through the table. Both women are down. 6. Jax starts to roll. 9. Both of them beat the count. Naomi's music hits. Miss Money in the Bank runs down with the briefcase and goes to hand it to the referee, Dan Engler. But Stratton cuts her off. Stratton hits Jax with the briefcase and hits Jax with a bulldog onto Naomi. Stratton then sandwiches them with the prettiest moonsault ever. Stratton lands on Jax's knees, 8 count. Jax gets up. Jax elbows Stratton away. The 2 tables from earlier set up side by side outside the ring. Jax goes to the apron and goes to suplex her out the ring and through the 2 tables at ringside. Stratton slides off and attacks her. Stratton then cracks her with the briefcase, knocking Jax off the apron through the 2 tables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The referee counted, and Nia Jax did not get back to her feet. And Naomi's cash-in, she didn't get to do it because it wasn't successful. She got attacked before she could hand it to the referee. So Naomi is still Miss Money in the Bank, and Tiffany Stratton wins the match and still is the WWE Women's Champion. So congratulations to Tiffany Stratton, and honestly, she went through a lot of damage to get that win. So it's still Tiffy time. Next, we have the segment you've all been waiting for. John Cena and CM Punk come face to face before Night of Champions. The undisputed WWE Champion John Cena heads to the ring. The crowd loudly sings that he sucks. Cena has his obnoxious ring announcement done for him. Cena holds up the title and tells Riyadh to get used to it because this is what a winner looks like. He is a winner. CM Punk is a loser because he's been out-cornered, outmaneuvered, and is out of tricks. Because Cena is a genius. Night of Champions is a formality. Punk can do nothing about it. Then, John Cena's old theme song, Basic Thugonomics, plays. Punk Life. This is Basic Thugonomics. CM Punk comes out in a Chicago Cubs throwback, a big necklace, and knuckles that say drug-free on them. Punk even has jorts and a hat. Cena looks surprised and disgusted. Punk receives a pretty polarizing reaction. Punk apologized for an old tweet that he put out about The Miz. So some did a light CM Punk chant, but there were a lot of boos. Punk says, "Yo, check it. This is basic punkonomics." Punk says this clown plagiarized his pipe bomb, so he's stealing word life. Punk raps to Cena. Cena had to rip Punk off and steal his best promo to distract from the fact that Cena moves in slow-mo. Cena is like a Timu Macklemore with less rhythm. Cena has buried more talent than The Undertaker. That's why he's the champ and lost all his respect. But he retired too if this place rehired his ex. If Cena never said his prayers, ate his vitamins, or picked his bald spot, he wouldn't be a wrestler. He'd be a Boston mall cop. Cena gets good movie roles, but then we see Batista act and realize Cena ain't that. Cena is like a wider Hulk Hogan and more problematic. The crowd is starting to loudly chant CM Punk. Punk is the best in the world. He's their vessel to Cena. They chant, "You can't wrestle." Punk says in 6 months Cena will be gone. He won't have time for the little people. He'll be busy washing James Gunn's underwear. Cena works for DC, but it'll always be the Marine to Punk. That's just straight to DVD. Better find a PS3. Punk understands "you can't see me." It's a hell of a catchphrase, but it's done. We all see him, and we're all looking at a washed up bum. 14 years ago, he dropped the legendary pipe bomb. Cena tried to make it all about him. Cena's a leech, a phony, a fraud, and an ass kisser. 17 world champion, but he's never been in Punk's class. Punk has one more wish to make. Tomorrow night, he's gonna lose to Kendrick because you're my Drake. Punk does the "you can't see me" taunt. Before his music plays, the crowd loudly sings Punk's theme song. Punk goes outside, stands on the barricade, and does the old thugonomics pose. Cena coldly watches on. I loved this segment. Punk acting a little bit goofy and having fun. I still think Cena wins tomorrow night, but it's good to see these two feud again. And it's good to have Cena have a lot of his old feuds with the title before he finally rides off into the sunset. This was a fire end to Smackdown. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. And I think it was a great show. Until next time, peace.